Hello, Mike Johnson here from Colorado. The fly I'm going to show you is a fly that I was shown during the Youth World Fly Fishing Championships when the Spanish team did really well on the rivers, and one particular young competitor named Raul Priego did exceptionally well, and he swore me to secrecy about this fly. And so I was sworn to secrecy during the competition and for a while afterwards, but he has since given me permission to show this fly. This fly has been incredible in Colorado and Utah, where I do most of my fishing, and it has far exceeded any other fly that we've been using, other than maybe the Culo Rojo fly, which he also showed me. So I'm going to be tying both of those, but I'm going to start with the Mike Perdigon, and the other one is the Culo Rojo, and that's this guy right here, the red butt or red ass, and that's also a very good fly here in Colorado and everywhere else that I've used it. So starting out, I'm using a Hannock 230BL hook, size 14, and I've got a 3mm tungsten slotted bead, and I've put about 5 or 6 wraps of 010 or 015 lead wire, and now I'm just going to use some 80 material thread, Danville 80 in black. And I'm going to wrap over the thread. I put some super glue on there. I've been doing that lately. I've seen a lot of fly tyers doing that, and it seems to be a pretty good method for helping keep the lead from spinning. Coke de Leon fibers for the tail is a good choice, but anything really will work just fine. We use some real small Coke de Leon fibers. This one I'm happen to be using is Pardo color. So I'm just going to wrap it back to about the bend of the hook and snip off the excess fibers. During the Youth World Fly Fishing Championships and the World Fly Fishing Championships, both that were in Vail, the Spanish team just did extremely well, and so we basically were looking at what kind of flies they were using. The U.S. team dominated the lakes, and the Spanish team dominated the rivers. So, and the French team, as always. So a couple of things. One is there's a couple of ways to get this blue on here. One of the ways that I've been doing this, it can either be done with UV material, and the UV material is not the Vivus Mirage or the UTC Mirage or the Vivus Pearl. This is actually flat tinsel from Saibai. I don't know if you can see that, but that tinsel is the one that gives the black thread actually a little bit of a blue tint after you put it in. So, but what I've been doing that works just as well is I've been using some regular blue flash. And so I just basically put a half hitch in so that I can wrap. And I use my vise, and I'm just going to put a few wraps of this blue tinsel flash just to give it a little bit of blue. Okay, now I'm going to tie it off. Oh, I'm going to trim off the excess here. And then again, I'm just going to put a little half hitch on here to lock it down and trim it. Now, some people will use this material for the base and then put the black over the top. But since this material, I use it quite regularly and I have lots of black available, I usually just do the collar after the fact. So now I'm just going to wrap some of this fluorescent pink, and this is going to produce the hot spot. And I'm just going to whip finish that off. Trim off the thread, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some UV clear UV finish, and I'm going to just put that on here. And this really, when the sun hits it, this pink really stands out, and we've had nothing but great luck every time we've used this fly. I went with a couple of friends, and they were trying every different kind of fly imaginable, and I probably outfished them 4 or 5 to 1, and it was all because of the fly. Because once they started using the same fly, they started catching them like crazy as well. So I'm going to now get my UV light. And you can see it has just a hint of blue, and then a black body, and then this hot spot right behind. Okay, so that happens to be the fly. Now I will also show you what Raul's fly looks like, just so you can get a comparison using the tinsel. But you'll see that it looks very similar. So that's his fly, a little bit bigger size, but hopefully you can see that. But when the sun hits this fly, it has a little bit of blue to it, and this one doesn't need quite as much sun, and does a really great job. Like I said, I've used this all over Colorado and Utah, and it's been a phenomenal fly, and I hope that you have as good a luck as I do, and as good a luck as the competitors did in the World Fly Fishing Championships, both the men and the youth. Good luck!